Hi children, today I am going to explain you chemical displacement. Today I am going to explain you chemical displacement. In this chemical displacement, first of all, you must know the meaning of displacement. This is a third type of reaction. So far we have completed two types of reaction. The first one is a chemical combination. Second one is chemical decomposition. Again in that chemical decomposition we have three types. Thermal decomposition, electrical decomposition, photolytic decomposition. Now we are going for the third type, that is a chemical displacement. In this chemical displacement reaction, we must know what is the meaning of displacement. Displacement also can be called as a replacement, or we can say substitution. So replace means, what is the meaning of replace? This word we can observe mainly in the time of cricket. So when the India and Australia is playing, Indian players are bowling. Automatically on the TV we can see Bhuvneshwar Kumar replaces Shami. Once the Shami bowling spell is completed, in that place one more fellow is substituted. So that word, the replace word, we can see during the time of cricket commentary. And next, displace. Displacement is very simple. One fellow will remove the other fellow place and he occupy that fellow place. That we can call it as a displace. Others we can call substitution, substitute. So this word generally you can observe in our school campus. Suppose your math teacher is on leave. Today you are having the math class. In that class, what your principal sir is going to do? He is going to substitute one more teacher. One more teacher. That also we can call displace or replace or substitute. So chemical displacement also can be called a chemical replacement, or we can say chemical substitution. So very simple. In this reaction, highly reactive metal will displace the low reactivity. So highly reactive means highly energetic fellow will occupy the place of the low energetic fellow. That means high energetic fellow will displace. He will remove that low energetic fellow place and he occupy that place. That we can call it as a chemical displacement. In terms of chemistry, we can say highly reactive element displaces low reactivity from its compound. First of all, we will be having a compound. What is a compound? Compound is nothing but it is a combination of different elements. It is a combination of different elements. For example, at the starting of our chemistry classes, I told you to write the chemical formulas with the help of cation and anion. When you combine the cation and anion, we get a formula with that they are called as compounds. For example, copper sulfate. Copper sulfate. The first part is the cation, second part is the anion. Here, cations will be displaced. Here, who will be displaced? Cation. So this is a compound. From this compound, you consider iron is an element. Iron is an element. Iron is a single element. We have to discuss only about the cation. Here, cations only displaced, but not the anions. Now here, iron will displace the copper. Iron will displace the copper means what you are going to get, iron will remove the place of copper and iron will occupy the place of the copper. Then what will you get? FeSO4 plus Cu. So this type of displacement we can call it as a chemical displacement. Here what is the definition I told? Highly reactive element displaces the low reactivity. From this I can say iron is the highly reactive, copper is the low reactivity. Copper is the low reactivity. But you must know, first of all, which elements are highly reactive, which elements are low reactive, which elements are middle reactivity. We must know. Without knowing that, here we cannot say iron displaces the copper. Iron displaces the copper. Just for example purpose, I wrote this equation. First, let us know which of the elements are the highly reactive. So just I told you the definition of the displacement. Highly reactive element displaces the low reactivity. That means highly reactive element will remove the low reactivity from the compound. That place is occupied our highly reactivity element. So first of all, we must know which elements are highly reactive, which elements are low reactive, which elements are middle reactivity. So I write the list of the elements. That elements you have to by heart in the order. Should not change the order. So this is the order. This order we can call it as a reactivity series. I'll tell you what is reactivity series. First of all, let us learn this order. What is the element name? Lithium, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, ferrum, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, gold, platinum. Here all of them are metals except the hydrogen. Except the hydrogen. I'll tell you later why the hydrogen is included in this series. Now, let us learn how to remember this element. After remembering the element, I'll tell you which are highly reactive, which are middle reactive, which are low reactive. So, how to remember? Without changing the order, we have to by heart. For that, I'll tell you one simple method. This method was discovered by myself only. Likna. Actually, lithium is not there. No? In some books, in the intermediate books like that, they have given the lithium, but you don't want to learn the lithium. But you are learning all the elements in an order. That's why I wrote here lithium. Likna. Likna means in Hindi we can call it as a to write. To write likna. Likna. Lithium. K. That is called potassium. Na sodium. Next we go for Kazal. Cagal, Kajal. Kajal means we can consider it as a Telugu heroine, famous heroine name. Kajal. Likna Kajal. Likna Kajal. Next, zinc and ferrum. We can use a dialogue used by our famous comedian Brahmananda, that is Jaffa. Jaffa. So, if you understand up to here how to read, the remaining part is very simple. We can Likna Kajal Jaffa. How to learn the elements? Likna, Li means lithium, K, potassium, Na, sodium, Kazal, Ka, calcium, G come for magnesium, L means aluminium, Jaffa means Jed, zinc, Fa means ferrum. And next the elements are lead and hydrogen. Lead and hydrogen. These two we have to remember. Remaining all the costly elements. Costly element, copper, mercury, silver. Next to silver, which is the cost, gold. Next to gold, what is the cost? Platinum. And so, like this, we must try to learn the elements. One more time, I repeat, how to learn the elements. How to learn the elements? Likna, Kajal, Jaffa, lead, hydrogen. Up to there, all the elements you have to. Next, the remaining are costly, depending upon their cost. Low cost to high cost. Copper. Compared to copper, mercury is high cost. Compared to mercury, silver is more cost. Compared to silver, gold more cost. Compared to gold, the next cost is the platinum. So in this order, we can learn the elements name. I hope that you can learn the elements in a easy manner. For the easy manner, Likna, Kajal, Jaffa. Likna, lithium, potassium, sodium. Kajal, calcium, magnesium, aluminium. Jaffa, zinc, ferrum. And next one is lead and hydrogen. Now in this series, up to aluminium we can consider it as highly reactive element. Highly reactive. Zinc, ferrum, lead, these people we can consider it as a middle reactivity. Up to hydrogen. Next, remaining copper to platinum we can consider them as a low reactivity. Low reactivity. Here, which of them are highly reactive? Up to aluminum, we can consider them as highly reactive. After aluminum, zinc, ferrum, lead. These three and hydrogen also we can consider as a middle reactivity. Actually, don't include the hydrogen. I'll tell you. Zinc, ferrum, lead you consider it as a middle reactivity. The remaining all we can consider it as a low reactivity. But here hydrogen is a non-metal. All the fellows are non-metal, but this fellow is the non-metal. Why this fellow is included in these metals means very simple. All the metals will produce positive charge. Li plus, Ca2 plus, Na plus, Al3 plus, all the members will produce positive charge. Same like these metals, hydrogen also produces the positive charge. That's why it is included in this group. In examination, this is also an important question. Why the hydrogen is included in this reactivity series? This is called as a reactivity series. Why it is called as a reactivity series? In this, elements are arranged in the increasing order of their reaction, decreasing order of their reactivity. Decreasing order, not increasing order, decreasing order. So, lithium, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum are very highly reactive. Highly reactive means calcium. Suppose in your class boys and girls are there. In that boys and girls are highly reactive. Even if for small scolding, for a small comment, that fellows used to cry. They'll be running to the principal sir or a teacher or parent for a simple cases also, for a simple reasons also. If they are hurt means immediately they will cry. So crying is meant for first of all for girls. I can consider the girls are the highly reactive. Then middle reactive, some boys are there, some sensitive boys. For a small scolding, they won't cry. For a small comment, they won't cry. If a teacher beat that boy, one beating or one slap or two slap, that fellow immediately cries. So that members we can consider it as a middle reactive. Now coming to low reactivity, that fellows are backbench members. Backbench members, they won't have anything, they won't have any shy. Whatever teacher in school, let them scold. Even the teacher is scolding also, they will be laughing, and they are doing some nonsense. Even the teacher beat or parent scold or parent beat, it also they won't think anything. They won't consider anything. They won't feel anything. They won't feel anything. That members are low reactivity, very low. They won't react at all. But they won't react at all. So highly reactivity, middle reactivity, low reactivity. So high reactivity means very fast they will react. They will react very fastly like girls in the class. Middle reactivity means they will react very slowly, little bit slowly, same like the sensitive boys in the class. Low reactivity, backbench boys. So they won't react for anything. They will take everything in a positive way, very simple way. So they won't feel for anything. So those numbers we can call it as a low reactivity. So this is called as a reactivity series. What is reactivity series? Arrangement of elements in the decreasing order of their reactivity, depending upon their reaction. Depending upon their reaction. Sodium, potassium, these fellows are very fastly they will react with anyone. Then zinc, ferro, they will hesitate to react. They will take some time to react. Low reactivity, they won't react at all. They will not react at all. Now, we'll go for a definition of what is meant by reactivity series. Arrangement of elements in the decreasing order of their reactivity. And one more question, why the hydrogen is included in this reactivity series? All the members are metals, but our hydrogen is a non-metal. Why it is included in this series? Why the hydrogen is included in this series means same like the metals, this hydrogen also will produce positive charge. All the metals are cations, all will produce the positive charge. Same like these metals, hydrogen also produces a positive charge. That's why hydrogen is included in this series. Very important question in the examination. Why hydrogen is included in the reactivity series? What is the answer you have to give? Same like the other metals, hydrogen also produces the positive charge. That's why it is included in the reactivity series. Okay, children. Now I hope that you all of you understood the reactivity series. Now we'll go for some examples for writing the displacement reaction. First, for my convenience purpose, first side I'll write my list. Again, the same list I'll write. Now I write some equations. You tell me whether the displacement reaction has taken place or not. For example, I write now you have to check whether the magnesium can displace the zinc or not. So which element can displace which element means we have to always go from single to compound. This is a single element to compound. We should not check from compound to the single because zinc is combined with the sulfate. This fellow is a single fellow. The single fellow only can displace. Now we have to check If the magnesium is highly reactive than zinc, so magnesium can displace. That thing we have to check from our list. So zinc, magnesium and zinc. Who is highly reactive? Magnesium is highly reactive. Above elements are always highly reactive than the below element. When you compare zinc and magnesium, I can say zinc is highly reactive. So zinc, magnesium can displace the zinc. So magnesium can occupy the place of the zinc. So we can write MgSO4 plus zinc. Displacement reaction is possible. Why the displacement reaction is possible means magnesium is highly reactive than zinc. In our reactivity series, magnesium is at the top position, zinc is at the down position. Above element, so the top elements are always highly reactive than the down elements. I write one more. Now we have to observe zinc and calcium. Zinc and calcium. So we have to check from zinc to calcium. Zinc to calcium. Zinc can displace the calcium. No. Zinc is down of the calcium. Zinc cannot remove the calcium because zinc is low reactivity. So low reactivity element cannot displace the calcium. So we have to write here no reaction. What we have to write here? No reaction. We can check for one more. Now we have to check from silver to copper. Silver to copper. Silver to copper you have to check. So silver to copper, silver cannot displace the copper because silver is the low reactivity. So when I am marking the arrow mark, suppose you are moving from down to up, the reaction is not possible. You are coming from up to down, the reaction is possible. Now here we are moving from down. Down means low to high. Low to high. Low cannot displace the high. We are moving from low to high means what is the meaning? Low reactivity cannot displace the high reactivity. So here what you are writing? No reaction. We'll go for one more reaction. Now we have to check from Fe to copper. Fe to copper. You are coming from top to down. So top to down means high to low you are coming. High to low when you are coming means highly reactive metal can displace the low reactivity. So here ferrum can displace the copper. So reaction is possible. You write the reaction. What the reaction you are going to get? FeSO4 plus Cu. FeSO4 plus Cu. Children, I hope that you understood this. We'll go for one activity regarding this chemical displacement. So chemical displacement means highly reactive metal displaces the low reactivity metal. Highly reactive element displaces the low reactivity from its compound. This is a compound. From the compound, the element must be displaced by the highly reactivity. So in this compound, zinc is the low reactivity, magnesium is the highly reactive. Highly reactivity can remove the low reactivity element from its compound only. So we have to check from element to compound. Now we'll go for one activity. Very, very important activity. Let us take two test tubes. Let us take two test tubes. Mark them as A and B. One test tube you mark it as A. Other test tube you mark it as B. Two test tubes are there. One test tube you mark it as A. Other test tube you mark it as a B. And now you take blue color copper sulfate. Take a small amount of copper sulfate powder, blue color, and make it into a solution by adding a required amount of water. By adding a required amount of water. What is the chemical you have taken? CuSO4, which is blue in color. So first of all, take two test tubes, mark them A and B. In both the test tube, you add a little amount of copper sulfate, which is blue in color, and make it into a solution by adding a required amount of water. by adding a required amount of water. This is the thing you have to remember. Here the salt, the compound what you are taking is the copper sulfate, which is blue in color. That is a powder form. In that we have to add the water and we have to make it into a solution. And next you take to fresh ionize. To fresh ionize you take. One of the iron nail you tie with the thread and suspend it in the test tube A. Second one, you don't disturb, you keep it as it is. You keep it as it is. That is just only for comparison. So this is the experimental setup. So what is the thing I have done here? First of all, I have taken two test tubes and I marked them as a and B. In both the test tube, I have been added a little amount of copper sulfate, which is blue in color. And then I added the water and made into a solution. Now in both the test tube, I have blue color solution. Now I have taken two fresh iron nails. One iron nail I kept aside for comparison. Another iron nail I tied with the thread and suspended in the first solution, that is a test tube. Then we have to wait for 20 minutes. We have to wait for 20 minutes. Wait for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, what you are going to notice, what is your observation? There are two observations. Number one, in the first one, the blue color intensity decreases and turns into light green color solution. So you compare both the tests, both the solutions you compare. B will be blue color only, but A color solution turn into green color, color change. When the color change, we can say reaction taken place. Reaction taken. What's the first observation? The test tube A, the blue color intensity slowly decreases and turns into light green color. So that we can say by comparing with the solution B. So in the B test tube, we have the solution is a green color. Now you compare the color of the solution present in the A, there will be variation in the color. The A test tube color solution color changes into light green color. That means reaction taken place. And second observation, INL comparison. Which we kept aside starting, that is a fresh, that is silvery white in color. Now which is dipped in the test tube, we turn into brown color. Turn into brown color. That means reaction taken place. Here what reaction taken place? What are the things we have taken in the test tube? A. I have taken iron is Fe. This is a single element. Now I have taken a compound CuSO4. CuSO4. Now, ferrum to copper. Ferrum is highly reactive. Ferrum is present above the copper in our reactivity series. So, iron displaces the copper. Iron displaces the copper. We get FeSO4 plus Cu. This copper is brown in color. Actually, we know copper color. It is a brown in color. That brown color we can see as a deposit of the iron. Now, ferrous sulfate is a green in color that is present as a solution in the test tube. Okay. So, from this I can say chemical reaction taken place. So, it is an activity for the displacement reaction. So, one more time I tell you the displacement reaction activity. First of all, you have to take two test tubes and you have to mark them as A and B. In both of them, you add a little amount of blue color copper sulfate and make it into a solution by adding a required amount of water. Now the solution will be turned into blue color. Now the test tube B, you keep it aside for comparison. Now you take two iron nails, two fresh iron nails. Fresh means their color is silvery white. One you keep it aside, that is for comparison. Another one you tie it with thread and suspend in the solution A. Then wait for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, we have two observations. Number one, blue color solution changes into green color. Silvery white, the fresh iron nail turns into brown color. What are the two observations? Number one, blue color solution changes into light green color. Iron nail turns into brown. A brown color substance is formed on the iron nail. The brown color substance is formed on the iron nail. Coming to the conclusion, the green color solution formed is ferrous sulfate. The brown color deposit on the iron nail is copper. And also here we can say displacement reaction taken place. Here iron is highly reactive than copper, so iron displaces the copper. In conclusion, we can write iron displaces the copper. Since iron is highly reactive than copper, then we have to write the chemical equation. So children, before learning this chemical displacement activity, first you have to go through the series. That series you have to by heart. After that only we can go for this. In that series, if you observe here, I have taken iron and copper sulfate. Iron is highly reactive. You see in the table, iron is present above the copper. So iron can displace the copper. Did you understand, children? Sure. Any? So for this also notes I write in the diary and post it in the. So I write in the paper and I post it in the class diary. So I'll give the notes later. Okay, children.